The question that we're going to look at today is, what does it mean to be a hero in the 21st century? And now we're going to look at what heroism means in the news, and how are heroes represented in the news. And we're very lucky today to have with us 4 extraordinary guests. The first is my collaborator on this project, my friend Louis Jebb. And Louis and I have been working to put together a class for you which examines the way our 3 heroes today are represented in the news. Louis is the publisher of a new website that he's going to talk a little bit about.
So the idea of Symbio is to do 2 things. One, to present news with context and in a calm way that ends up making people feel better about their lives. And secondly, it has a big educational push. The idea is that by consuming stories that are interesting and somehow uplifting, you'll then move on to educate yourself and to find out about subjects that might already interest you or subjects that you've half touched on and would like to develop further. There's a story about Nelson Mandela, the first president of a free South Africa, and it's a story of a photograph. And we're very lucky to have the taker of that photograph, Glyn Griffiths, here as our guest.
When you look back on it now, it seems extraordinary that a normal society can exist, or a society can exist, where benches in public parks have whites open with them. Or you go to a drinking fountain, and it is for white people only. You can't go into a shop unless you are white. You have to, if you were black, you had to go out to the back of the shop. You couldn't go into a cafe. People going to restaurants. And that at one stage was kind of normal until people, the power of the people, started to shout. And as you will know, in the late 60s, that society started to change.
Gretchen Andrus, who is a proponent of Google Glass and a wonderful artist. There's a brief story about what a difference it's made to her in the practice of her work, and a very nice video of her actually filmed while wearing Google Glass.
One of the neatest things is I'm able to learn from my own mistakes and to really focus in on what's working and what's not. I'm a self-taught artist. I didn't go to art school. And so this process of learning how to do this is really enabled by the technology. But more than even that, the ability to share what it is that I do in my studio is really just what has completely changed it for me.
We have with us here tonight my friend Bradley Hill, who has an extraordinary story of courage, of how he recovered from an extraordinarily serious illness and dangerous operation. He was told that he was in danger of dying and that he would never walk again. And a few months later, he was back at work as a personal trainer.
The main thing I sort of try and teach now is your life sort of changes instantly in a moment, and you really, you learn a lot from reading books, that you learn everything like live every day like it's your last, but everyone kind of ignores wisdom, and you've got a teacher and they might be giving you advice and you'll probably do the opposite, and so what happens is in life you just get these decisions to make, and I made the choice to really to believe I could recover, and if I'd done the other way I might still be lying on the bed there. But yeah, I certainly do live by the principles now where every day is your last sort of thing, and make the most of it. It kind of awakens you up to what's possible and what your potential is. And, as you say, maybe you're sent down to earth to deliver some, purpose, to deliver something purposeful. And if you're not achieving that, maybe it's a wake-up.
We never hear about the good stuff. Usually we always hear, what's going wrong in the world, and, we always have, a negative outlook. But, I feel like with
Symbio.
It's a positive outlook instead of focusing on, all the bad that's going on. It's, a good chance to see, what good what good's going on in our world and like our heroes in the world and like who's helping out and giving them credit for once.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to wrap it up. Say thank you so much to our guests.